Alrighty yogis, today's practice will be that of many different kinds of arm balances as well as getting into splits. So it's more of a power flow, lots of challenging poses, but I'll break them down so we can all get into them, or at least attempt to. So what you might need is a strap right now at the beginning. If you don't have a strap, I recommend grabbing a towel that you can wrap around your leg. So we'll start laying down here. And what we'll do is, with our strap or towel, wrap it around the sole of your right leg, your right foot, sorry. And begin to pull your right foot into your body. So stretching out the hamstrings here. Let gravity do most of the work. Be gentle, just warming up. We'll get deep into the legs, don't you worry. Gently bend your arms if you can, now using a bit of your muscle strength to bring that right foot closer towards your head. Let's release here. Switch feet. So your strap around your left foot. And again, begin passively, just letting the weight of your arms draw your foot closer towards the ground. Begin to bend your arms here, using your biceps to pull your left foot closer. And gently release towards the ground. We'll come into happy baby here. Grab the outside edge of both feet or thighs and push your knees down towards the ground with your hands. Opening up the inner hips. Rolling from side to side if that feels good for you. Maybe stretching out one leg and the other. And gently releasing grasp of your feet or your thighs. Coming into seat, place your hands on the ground, your feet behind you, and we'll come into cat-cow. But this time we'll reverse the grip here so that our fingers face our feet. So this really allows us to stretch out our forearms, which is so crucial for these arm balances that we'll do. So inhale as you gaze up, cow. Exhale, round your back, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. And exhale, cat. Once more, inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Bring your fingertips towards the front of the mat. Bring your toes down towards the ground. And push back to downward facing dog. You can pedal your dog here if this is the first down dog of the day by bending one knee or the other.
perhaps you'd like to set an intention for this practice here, returning to this intention when the practice becomes difficult. If Ujjayi breath is in your practice, I encourage you to take it now. Let's slowly roll out onto plank.
Hold here, 3 breaths. One inhale here. Exhale, set your knee, chest, and chin down onto the mat. Inhale up, cobra, elbows by the sides of your body. Exhale, tuck your toes, down dog.
One more breath. Next, inhale, roll out onto plank.
Exhale, knees, chest, and chin, or maybe the forehead if there's room on the ground. Inhale up, cobra, maybe elbows are straight this time. Exhale, tuck toes, down dog.
3 breaths. Inhale, sweep that right leg up, 3-legged dog.
Exhale, we'll step that right foot between our hands. Let's set the left knee down here. Coming into crescent lunge. Arms above, gazing up towards your hands as you perhaps take a slight back bend. Keeping your hips square so that you can maximize the stretch in your left hip flexor. Bring your head back to neutral. Let's tuck our left toes, come up into high lunge. Hold here, 3 breaths. We'll set our left hand down on the ground, easy twist. Take your right hand up and gaze towards your right hand. Let's set our right hand down, left knee down, and send it back to half split. Let's remain active in this half split here. So inhale, back straight, toes pointed up. Exhale, fold over your right leg.
Think about drawing your right knee up, activating the quadricep so that your hamstring can lengthen a bit more.
Let's bend that right knee, tuck the back toes, plant your hands on the ground, step back into plank. Exhale, chaturanga, so push up here. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog.
Let's take a flow to break this up. Inhale, lift your heels, hop
Or step your feet to the front of the mat. Exhale, forward fold.
Inhale, sweep your arms up.
Mountain pose. Exhale, hands heart center. Inhale, sweep your arms up again. Dive it forward. Halfway lift. Plant hands. Hopper step. Plank. Lower down. Upward facing dog.
sweep that left leg up.
Exhale, let's set the left foot between our hands. Set the right knee down, untuck the back toes. Coming into crescent lunge, hands overhead, interlacing your hands, gazing upward. Bring your neck back to neutral. Let's tuck the back toes, coming up, high lunge. 3 breaths here, nice and strong. Lean forward, place your right hand down on the ground. Easy twist. Left arm up, stack your shoulders. Keep that bend in your left knee. And see how open you can make your chest towards the ceiling. Let's set the left hand down on the mat as well. Right knee back down, shift back, half split. Remaining active here. Inhale, flat back, draw your belly in. Exhale, fold over any amount. Enjoying that stretch in your left hamstring. Let's shift it forward. Bend that left knee. Plant your hands on the ground. Tuck the right toes. Step back, plank. Inhale. Exhale, lower down, chaturanga. Upward facing. Down dog. Option to stay in down dog, or we'll build some more heat with another flow. Inhale, lift your heels. Hop or step from the mat. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Hands heart center. Arms up again. Dive. Halfway up. Plant your hands. Chaturanga. Let's lower down. Upward facing. And downward facing dog. Couple of breaths here. Settle down into the mat. Let's inhale, roll out onto the plank. And we'll shift our weight towards our right hand and our right foot. Coming into side plank. Option to have your right knee down on the ground for a less intense version, or taking your left foot up into a star shape. Continue to gaze up if you can, grounding down through the outer edge of your right foot. Now, let's see if we can bend that left knee and slowly take it back to wild thing. Opening up your chest towards the sky. Giving your cat a pet if he walks by. And unflip back to 3-legged dog. Slowly, how slow can you go? And let's set our left foot forward on the outside edge of our left hand. Remaining here in this lizard variation, so you're going to keep your right knee up. Usually your right knee is down on the ground. and maybe shifting it back and forth a bit. Just finding some length in your legs and your hips. And let's set the right knee down and come to full lizard. Really think about sinking the hips down towards the ground and letting your left foot fall out towards the left side. All right, you stay here, or we'll come into our first arm balance. Let's tuck our right toes, and begin to walk your hands underneath your body, and you tuck your left knee on your left shoulder. So let's come here, and maybe this is enough for you for this kind of variation on the arm balance, or you bend your left knee and tilt it forward. Your right foot maybe comes off the ground, and your left foot is off the ground as well. Let's set that right foot down on the ground. Sweep that left leg up and take a flow. So a few options here. You can take handstand flow, three-legged dog flow, chin stand, or just straight to downward dog and skip it all together. So we'll all meet in down dog. Alrighty, down dog here, yogis. So, you're going to roll out onto plank, moving onto your left side. Let's stack our shoulders on top of each other. And again, take the variation that you'd like. Maybe left knee down the ground, maybe just regular plank, or right foot up. Keep breathing. Return to that intention if you need to. Start to bend that right knee. Set it behind. Wild thing. Send your hips towards the sky. And unflip the dog. Set your right hand down on the mat. Sweep your right foot up. And let's take it forward, starting with lizard with your left knee up. So using this as a place to explore the mobility in your hips, you can sway forward and back, left and right. All right, let's set the left knee down on the mat. Place our forearms down and let the right knee fall out like a book. Let's walk our hands back up if you want to take the arm balance, flying pigeon. So, let's walk our hands back, come up onto your back toes, create a shelf with both arms. Your right knee is on your right shoulder, bend that right knee, lift the right foot up. Maybe you stay here, maybe the left foot pops up. Holding, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Set that left foot down. And let's come back into a flow. And again, take the flow that works for your body today. I'm going to take a few handstand hops and attempt to not hit anything in my house, which is kind of difficult in this small space. And we'll all meet in down dog.
A few breaths here. Take child's pose if you need. Alright, inhale, sweep your left leg up. And exhale, let's set the left foot between our hands. Crescent lunge. So right knee down on the mat. We visit this pose again. This time, see if you can get a bit deeper. Your hips are a bit lower towards the ground. And let's try interlacing your hands and placing them on the back of our head to open up our anterior shoulders and our chest. Leaning back into the basket you've created with your hands. Release your hands towards the ground. Let's take half splits, or if you'd like to try, going towards full splits. It's helpful to have a pillow or block underneath your hips if you're not quite there yet. So you can really sink down onto your prop and use more of gravity to help you get down. So relaxing your muscles so you're not tensing up, which shortens them and makes it more difficult to lengthen. If you are in full splits, see if you can tuck your back toes, square your hips towards the front, and take your arms above. And another fun variation for those who are in full splits, you can bend the back knee, tuck it into your right elbow crease, and see if you can take mermaid arms. All right, wherever you are, let's shift back to half split. Send our hips forward into lizard again. So we're going to come into another arm balance. So this time, instead of taking flying lizard, it's going to be very similar, but our left knee is going to be straight. We're coming into koundinyasa here. So come with bent elbows, make a shelf with your arms. Tuck that left shoulder on your left tricep and straighten that left leg. Now you stay here or tilt it forward, lifting the right leg up as well. Holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's see if you can hop it back to chaturanga. Or step back, as I did. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, let's take it to child's pose. So imperative to get these rests when we're doing these intense arm balances. Now, of course, if you want to keep the heat going, come to down dog instead. It's your practice. You do you.
It's a great time to grab some water, which I'm going to do right now. Breathing into your low back, letting your shoulders go, finding complete rest and relaxation, and mentally preparing for the other side. All right, yogis, let's do it. Okay, so climb up onto tabletop, tuck our toes, and down dog. Inhale, sweep that right leg up, and bring that right foot between our hands. Crescent lunge. Untuck the back toes, set the left knee down on the mat. And let's interlace our hands behind our head. Opposite thumb on top. And lean back. Enjoy the space, the opening of the fascia and the connective tissue and the muscles in the front side of your body. Creating a long line of energy all the way from your left toes towards the crown of your head. Gently releasing your hands. Let's shift this back to half split or full split. Again, please make use of props. They're super duper useful. And wherever you are, enjoy the stretch. Focus on how it feels, not how it looks. If you are in full splits, let's tuck the back toes, square our hips, and upper body towards the front of the mat. And a little fun for those in full splits, you can take a mermaid variation, bending the back knee. Your mermaid release, and we'll all come back into half split. Let's lean it forward into low lunge, coming into our next arm balance. So walking your hands underneath your chest, creating that shelf, resting your right leg on your shoulder, straightening that right knee. You can stay here or tilt it forward, lift up that left leg. Holding a few breaths. And let's hop it back, chaturanga. Up dog. Down dog. And again, please grab child's pose if you need that rest. Let's inhale, lift our heels. Exhale, hop or step your feet to the front of the mat. Let's heel toe our feet out towards the edges of our mat, and we'll sit down, low squat. Taking this time to reconnect to your breath. All right, let's sit down onto our seats, and we'll begin to take full lotus. So let's start on with the left side. So What you want to do is just slowly begin to come into it. So just hug your left foot into your body and rotate it back and forth. Be very generous with these movements. All right, and let's set our left foot on our right thigh. And take a bend in your right knee. And maybe half lotus is where you are today, or if you think full lotus is in your practice, give it a try. Right foot on top. Staying here for a few breaths before we take this a bit further. Half lotus or full lotus if you already feel quite intense in your hips. If you want to try something else, what you can do is begin to walk your hands forward, come up onto your knees, and set your chest down onto the mat. Slowly. So you're opening up your hips here. Now you can stay here with your chest on the ground or try for a peacock, another arm balance. Come up onto your hands, flip your hands so that the fingertips are facing the back. Place your hands underneath your chest, create a shelf with your elbows, and begin to tilt it forward, maybe lifting up your legs. Setting your legs down, releasing, and just let your legs go. Nice little pancake shape. I don't think it's actually a real yoga pose, but I just feel like I'm pancaking on the ground. It feels really good. Take one cheek down on the mat. All right, let's try the other side. So coming onto your seat again, wrapping your hands around your right foot, massaging the leg back and forth in its joint. And let's take the right foot onto your left thigh. You stay here or take your left foot above, full lotus. Couple of breaths here. If you'd like to take it further, walk your hands forward, come up onto your knees, and set your chest down. Arm balance time, peacock. So again, wholly optional, but I encourage you to try. Come up onto your hands. Hands face the back again. Create a 90-degree bend in your elbows. Set your belly onto your elbows. Tip your head forward and lift your legs up. Set your knees down. And release. Pancake. Let's take our right cheek towards the mat. here, we'll take a couple of back bends, starting off with locust, interlacing your arms behind your back, setting your chin down on the ground. As you inhale, you lift up your shoulders and chest, and take your feet off the ground as well. Big toes are touching. Keep your neck neutral towards the ground. See if you can lift your hands off of your back. Holding here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Set it down. Take a cheek down on the mat. So you can come into locust again, or you can take bow. If you want to try for bow, bend your knees, grab your feet either on the inside or the outside. Just kind of do what feels best for you today. And set the chin down on the mat. Inhale, you lift your upper body. And exhale, kick up with your knees, pulling your shoulders back. One more breath, full expression. And release it back. Place your hands by your chest. Come into downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your heels. And from here, hop or step your feet through into seat. So we're going to play with some arm balance transitions now. All right, starting off with compass pose. So bend your left knee, take your left foot towards your hips. Now what you want to do is hug that right foot into your body like we were doing earlier, prepping for lotus. So roll it back and forth. Enjoy it. Now you can stay here or try for compass. Right hand through underneath that right knee. With your left hand, you grab the outside edge of your right foot. Crawl the right fingers out towards the side. Straighten that right knee. And take your gaze underneath your right armpit. So your left armpit towards the sky. Let's release. We'll come into 8 angle. So you want your right knee on your right shoulder. Place your hands down on the ground. Take your left foot over your right foot. Maybe you stay here or begin to shift your weight forward. Your legs perhaps come off the ground. I guess they're always off the ground. Maybe your seat comes off the ground. All right, let's see if you can take this to koundinyasa. So straighten your arms a bit. Slip your left leg through underneath your body. Straighten it behind you. And set it down. Take a flow. Few breaths in down dog. Settle down. When you're ready for the other side, hop or step your feet forward, coming into a seat. Take a bend in your right knee, set your right foot in front of your hips. Let's hug that left foot into our body. Finding space in our outer hips. And you stay here or try for pigeon. Left hand underneath your left knee. Set it down on the ground. Grab your right foot, left foot with your right hand, and straighten that left leg as you look up underneath your right shoulder. finding a stretch in the right side of your body. All right. Let's move towards our arm balance. Release that left foot. Plant your hands down on the mat. Take the right foot over the left. Begin to tip your weight forward, and maybe your hips come off the ground. 8 angle here. You can stay here or see if you can transition into koundinyasa. So, slip your right leg underneath, all the way back. Straighten the leg. Set the right foot down. And from here, let's flow. And into child's pose. Let's slowly come to tabletop, and we'll do a few cat and cows to just release our back. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat.
Inhale, cow.
Exhale, cat.
2 more here.
Back to neutral. Let's set our forearms down onto the ground, coming into dolphin. Place your feet down on the mat. Send your hips high. Now from dolphin, we're going to try kicking up into forearm stand. So if that's not in your practice, just hang out in dolphin. Otherwise, begin to walk your feet forward. Let's plant our right foot down on the mat. Lift your left leg high. Come up onto your right toes and gently kick up. It's helpful to do this against the wall if you're not quite confident with the middle of the room yet. If scorpion is in your practice, you can bend backwards. Now this is a little fun variation. I like to see if I can take my left hand onto my chin as if I'm going to read a book, or just hang out on my bed. And setting it down, setting your upper body down, coming into child's pose. Other side here. So coming back into dolphin. And let's take our right leg up this time. Come up onto your left toes and kick it up. If you're not quite here yet, you can play with one-legged dolphin. And again, option always to take scorpion and try to place your right hand on your chin. Not quite working for me. Let's release child's pose, hands by your sides. Imagine if somebody is pressing on your shoulders and bringing them close towards the mat. So gravity is heavy here, and embrace that. Let's come into rabbit here. Place the crown of your head on the mat. Lift up your hips and begin to walk your knees forward until you feel a nice stretch in the back of your neck. Your hands are just by your sides. Let's come out of rabbit onto a seat. And we'll tuck our toes here and place your left elbow on your right elbow. Perhaps your palms touch each other into eagle arms. See if you can bring your arms up. Gaze up. Now if your toes are starting to feel uncomfortable, please come down anytime. Let's bow it forward. Coming into a tight ball. And release. Other side. Elbow on top of left. Perhaps palms touch. No worries if they don't. And bring it up. And crunch it forward. Draw in your belly. And gently release. Let's try towards handstand. If handstand is not in your practice, you can take headstand, or you can take legs up the wall, or even shoulder stand. Do whatever makes you feel good here. All right, my handstand folks, let's come to down dog. Walk your feet forward, so you're in a shortened down dog. Plant down through your right foot. Lift that left leg high. Come up onto your right toes and practice hopping up. Maybe you come all the way up. Oops. Let's come out of handstand here. Take child's pose. Quickly reset. Before we come back into handstand, hopping up with the other leg instead. Alrighty. Let's plant our hands, down dog. Walk your feet forward. Ground up your left leg this time. And kick up with your right. It's helpful to gaze at a spot in between your hands. Set it down. Child's pose. Let's take a shoulder stretch. to let all of this go. We've done a lot of work on our arms today. So come to tabletop position, scooch over towards the right side of your mat. With your right hand, thread it underneath your left arm and place it by your left leg. Set the crown of your head onto the mat and begin to roll out onto your shoulders. Your left hand can go wherever is comfortable. Other side here. Tabletop. Scooch over towards the left. Thread that left hand underneath. Come up onto the crown of your head and roll back onto your shoulders. Now you're not actually quite on your shoulders, but it's kind of that motion that we're going for. Nice stretch for your back here and your neck. Let's come back up onto our seats. Bring our feet forward, supine twist. Lay back down, arms out towards a T or cactus your arms. 90-degree bend in your legs, wrap the left leg around the right, and let your knees fall over towards the right side as you look over your left shoulder. Roll onto your back, bring your knees up, wrap the right knee around the left, and let your knees fall towards the left as you gaze over your right shoulder. And let's roll out onto our backs into Shavasana. If you want something slightly different, you can take Shavasana in reclined butterfly. Feet together, knees apart. Take note of how your body feels now, how you are mentally and physically. Return your attention to your breath. And let this mindfulness permeate the rest of your day. Please stay longer. This video will end here, but I always encourage several minutes in final rest. Thank you all for joining me in this practice today. Hope you guys had fun. Hope you guys were challenged.